Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Elma. Actually, I'm going to be going through my Game Week 3 team selection, my Game Week 2 team review, and also some transfer thoughts ahead of Game Week 3. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank you all guys for the continued support on the channel, especially on the short video content. But you're also trying to make the long video content become more enjoyable to you guys, to be able to increase those views and retention as well. And the only way that can be done is make sure you leave a like on this video, make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and make sure you hit that bell. Don't miss any content going up on the channel. And that's wasting any much time. Let's get straight into it. So first, I'm going to start off with my Game Week 2 team review. I managed to score 51 points, came my overall rank, and my overall point 205. Finally cracked the 3-digit mark, and with a green arrow from 4.5 million to 4.4 million. Can't complain with a green arrow, even how marginal it is, still a green arrow, and the road to top 50,000 begin now. So we had Sanchez in goal, 3 points, not a clean sheet, but I will take the 3 points. Richard 2 points, conceding to Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately, Poro was on my bench initially, but Palmer did not play in the West Ham games. He's picked up an injury during the warm-up, so Poro came in to replace him. Managed to get a clean sheet against Man City, which was surprising, and 5 points. Then you had Esteve with 6 points, a clean sheet against Sunderland. Nico Williams, no clean sheet again for Nottingham Forest, conceding to Crystal Palace, so 2 points for him. Then we had Salah with another late contribution in the game, and the last minute contribution, which is a little bit worrying. Got an assist, so for 10 points. Then Vats, Rogers, and Reinders all blanking with 2 points respectively. And then you had Watkins blanking as well, another poor showing from Aston Villa. 2 points for Watkins. Then Joe Pedro, the star of the week, with a goal and an assist. And I think with all three bonus points, he would get 15 points. Then you had Dubravka 6 points against Sunderland. I think I was always going to play Sanchez no matter what, so it is what it is. Then Palmer, as I mentioned, did not play, so 0 points. Then Diouf got an assist, 3 points, but they considered five, I think, so he got -2 or something. Then McGree, who did not, I think, came on for like 20 minutes, so 1 point for him. So the team for Game Week 2, 51 points, and a green arrow will take the positive. So now let's look at what Game Week 3 has in store for us. So for Game Week 3, before we get into the Game Week 3 team selection, I wanted to go through some couple of transfers. So the transfer I'm thinking of doing is going from Palmer to Kudus, and then going to get Haaland after the international break. But of course, you never know what's going to happen during the international break. I don't know how long Palmer is going to be out. I don't know if he's going to miss the Fulham game, but he's going to miss the Fulham game. And as I mentioned, Chelsea scored 5 goals without him, so he's really essential to that Chelsea team. And my answer is I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary to own Palmer at this given moment in time. Maybe down the line, but I think at the moment not really. So the transfer I'm thinking of doing is Palmer and bringing in Kudus. I think Kudus has been very good for Spurs. Of course, he blanked in Game Week 2, but he still looked very, very sharp. Of course, Bernard Johnson, who I think has gotten more points than Kudus, but I think Bernard Johnson is around 7.1 million. I think that's a tad too expensive. You can just go for someone like Kudus, who I think is going to play more games in the long run compared to Bernard Johnson. And the fixtures for Spurs look very, very good. Of course, Bournemouth may be a tough fixture, but West Ham, Brighton, Wolves, and Leeds, who have been looking very shaky defensively in the first two fixtures, could be very good for the likes of Kudus. So that's the transfer I'm thinking of doing. And actually, I think I'm going to be doing this transfer once you get the news of Palmer is not going to be starting against Fulham. I'm going to go ahead and do this transfer. So with this transfer in mind, let's look at how I'm going to be lining up for Game Week 3. So for Game Week 3, so you're going to be lining up, starting off with the goalkeeper. You're going to be having Sanchez in there against Fulham. Of course, Fulham created a lot of chances against United, but at the end of the day, it's Manchester United. They just lost to Grimsby, so I think we can able to take Manchester United as a good example. Of course, Chelsea look very good. They look very good defensively against West Ham. Sanchez made some good saves here and there. So maybe a cheap clean sheet will be very much appreciated from Sanchez. Then we had Poro against Bournemouth. The reason I went for Poro from game week one is because there's chances of assist, but so far I think Van den Veen has outscored Poro. So that's something I'm looking to do during the international break. Is we go from Poro and able to get Van der Veen because it's a little bit cheap. I think 1 million cheaper. That will be able to make my move for Haaland a little bit smoother. So that's something I'm considering. But I hope that for this game, Spurs can keep another clean sheet, and I hope that Porto can get an attacking return just instead of the clean sheet points. Then we have Richards from Aston Villa. I mean from Crystal Palace. So they're going to be playing against Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been looking very shocking in front of goal, but of course I think Crystal Palace are playing at the moment, and I'm not so sure if Richards is playing or not. They're playing the Conference League qualifiers, so that's something to look at. Crystal Palace players might be a little bit tired, but I hope for a clean sheet against Aston Villa, who have been looking very shocking. And maybe a corner goal also will go a long way. Then you have Nico Williams against West Ham, who have been looking very, very poor. West Ham have been looking very poor defensively. So I hope that Nico Williams can be able to get that first assist of the season, and hope that Forest can be able to keep a clean sheet as well. And I hope that Nico Williams can be instrumental in that. But that's the defenders. Looks pretty solid, hoping for some attacking returns in there. So now let's look at the midfielders. So now we can look at the midfielders. We're going to be having Mohamed Salah in there, starting off the midfield against Arsenal. Tough fixture, of course, but I think Liverpool are going to be playing at home, so the atmosphere is going to be electric. I hope that Salah can be able to get a goal, and not a late goal or like a late assist, maybe just in between the game, just to ease the pressure a little bit on us. Salah owners will be very much appreciated because these late goal contributions can be very, very intense. But I hope that he's going to have a good game against Arsenal, and I hope that he's going to get an attacking return. Then you have Vats. This one I still have Vats in my team because of the national break. They play Burnley and Everton, and I think those are the type of games that are going to be needing the creativity of Vats to be able to break down low blocks, and that's the reason I'm only keeping. But if he blanks in the Burnley game, I think it's going to be time to move on. So I'm just going to keep him for now. I hope also against the Arsenal fixture, I hope he's going to be able to get an attacking return. Then we have Kudus, who, as I've mentioned, are going to be bringing in for Palmer against the Bournemouth. Not an ideal fixture to bring someone in, but I think with how Spurs are playing and the defensive changes for Bournemouth, I hope that Kudus and Co can be able to exploit that and get some attacking returns. Then we have Rangers against Brighton. Brighton just considered 2 goals to what I think is a very poor Everton team. So you never know. I hope that Rangers is going to play a little bit up top. We saw Rodri come back, so I'm not sure he's going to play 90 minutes. He's going to be eased into the games here and there. But I hope that Rangers is going to play a little bit up top because also Czech didn't look very good. So maybe Pep is going to take Rangers back into that position. Then finishing off the midfield, you're going to be having Rogers, who, as I've mentioned, Aston Villa have been very, very poor. And it's also someone I might think of removing. It's just time for a wild card. Maybe that's the best thing that I can do at the moment. But I'm going to hold on and hope that against tired legs from Crystal Palace, I hope that Rogers can be able to exploit that and able to get an attacking return. Well, that's the midfield. Looks pretty solid. So now let's look at the forward line. So this is how the forward line is going to be looking like. Going to be having Watkins in there against Crystal Palace. However, can be able to open their account for the season. I hope that I don't think they've scored a goal, so I hope they can be able to open the account for the season. And I hope that Watkins can be able to finally get an attacking return. But if he does it, I think it's going to be time to bring in Erling Haaland in there. And hope that Haaland can be able to carry me into the top 50k. Then you have Joe Pedro finishing off the team, and I think I'm not so sure. I'm 50-50 between Salah and Joe Pedro, but for now, Joe Pedro has the handband, and I hope that he's going to be able to perform against Fulham, who didn't look very good defensively against United. But I hope that Pedro can be able to score some few goals here and there, and maybe just a repeat of the game week one performance, of course. Then to the bench, we have Dubravka against United. Might as well just start him because United are so bad. And then we had Esteve as well. Might as well even start Dubravka and Esteve in there and hope for some attacking returns. Maybe the DEFCON points for Esteve might be outstanding. Maybe something to consider, because the Grimsby players did have a lot of defensive contributions. So it's something to consider. Then you have Diouf against Nottingham Forest, and then you have Gui against Brentford all on the bench. So that's the team for Game Week 3. Looks pretty solid. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and do you think the Palmer to Kudus transfer is a good transfer? And let me know who's going to be taking a punt on Esteve to be in their team. Maybe that's something I'd also consider. But for now, I'm just going to leave the team the way it is. That's the Game Week 3 team. Another long video. If you managed to reach this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.